and welcome to my channel. I'm Zalsi. The speed draw you're looking at is an artwork I did for a family member. As requested, I quote, this is exactly what she told me to do. She's the artist. Tell her I want a Star Wars pic with purple incorporated in some way. Purple lightsaber slash glow, or purple hair, or purple Twi'lek. I don't care. End quote. Which I, which that meant I had a lot of art freedom with this piece. Rather, knowing that she wanted a Jedi Twi'lek that had purple in it, so the idea of that was as much purple as possible. I will just say, even though I had a lot of freedom, this this was a gift to a family member. I made sure to try my best while editing. Even during the process, I noticed a lot of issues with my artwork along the way. I was zoomed in a majority of the time while working on the body. The issue with this is because I've gotten extremely used to working in smaller canvas sizes on a clip studio, which is why in the beginning I made sure to have a structured draft for the idea, even though the zoom was just, well, you'll see. It's it gets a little hectic sometimes. I'm sorry. Most of the time, for specific poses, faces, or fashion choice, I like to ask questions with sketch previews sent to the person, whether in DMs or however I've set up the commissions. While this wasn't a commission piece, I didn't update the requester as I worked on it. Instead, I continued till it got done. I worked on this piece while live on Twitch. Afterwards, while going through the editing process, I had to speed it up quite a lot, actually. It was like, I want to say 7 times, because this was a 12-hour long process. I also had to zoom in quite a lot. That way you didn't see my V model, where on Twitch I use a V model, and so if you see anything fly across the screen in case it wasn't edited out, it's objects from the Twitch Integrated Throwing System program, which is a program that I have for when I go live on Twitch, and with certain commands or actions by a follow, subscription, or donation trigger objects to get thrown at my V model. So, just to be clear, no V model or person was harmed in the making of this video. All jokes aside, I focused a lot of certain details that you don't get to see in the finished piece. Primarily, I just didn't like it. Secondarily, I it was a large canvas. So whenever I moved it onto a smaller canvas, cropped it, it was just, yeah. It was like, I think it was like half the size actually. However, I still wanted to make it a large enough canvas so in case she decided to print it out, the resolution wouldn't get blurry or blotchy, like on when I did a piece for my mom and stepdad. To be transparent, it has been a while since I've worked on artwork. I've all I have actively been working on new emotes and new panels, or just new additions overall for my stream, or others for my brother, my fiance, which I really enjoy the Star Wars series. Do you have a favorite character? I much prefer creating characters when it comes to things. However, whenever I choose a favorite character, somehow they always end up dying. Not just Star Wars. I beat every character. But in Star Wars, my favorite character was Qui-Gon Jinn and Jar Jar. Not Darth Jar Jar, just regular Jar Jar, who was, they were actually my favorite aside from Obi-Wan. Which, kind of a gimme. I think a lot of people love Obi-Wan, but I liked old Obi-Wan as well, which he was just precious. I personally enjoy quirky sided characters, like whether they're quirky or they're just in the background and like they're just kind of like what doing their own thing. And I also like wise characters who are extremely patient beyond most people's ability, especially for remaining calm or patient, just overall patient. I would love to ramble or even about characters that like I end up like adoring, but I don't think there's enough time in this video for that. Or like how sometimes even characters that end up as partners learning to coexist or survive together. Oh my goodness, I love those kind of stories. Um Especially I think my favorite stories are usually underdog stories, especially unpredictable ones, like not the ones that you can predict of what happens in the end, like it's obvious, but more so because sometimes nowadays with film, it's gotten a lot less predictable because, but there's times where they're like, oh, we gotta like line it up for a second one. It's best not to get stuck on the colors, especially if you have Clip Studio Paint. You can change the color of any layer you have selected. You just go to edit and then tonal correction and then hue slash saturation slash luminosity. And you can change the selected layer, which is what I did after merging the cloth layer. And because I could honestly ramble about like the old Republic era. It's like pretty, I think it's pretty good. I think I did really great. Well, give me a follow, give me a subscription on YouTube, or just follow me on TikTok or Twitch. And I appreciate any of your time that you've spent, and I hope that you enjoyed watching my video. Oh, it was so nice. Oh, behind me is the finished piece, and look at that. That's pretty, not to be too hard on yourself because sometimes those artists can be really harsh critics to each other or and to ourselves. But correction and sometimes hearing of an outside voice of like, hey, I think you did great. That's super encouraging and just wonderful to, promote other artists. And sometimes it's good to put people up instead of putting them down all the time. But yeah. Tell me what you guys think about the artwork in the comments. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Um and hopefully I get better at learning to edit a bit more fancy over time and maybe a little bit more confident with speaking. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and thanks for watching.